Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're reviewing a full-sized Range Rover with the V8. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout-out and link you to the Land Rover here in Lehi, Utah, for giving me some time with this Range Rover. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check what they have currently. If you have any questions, just ask for Jordan. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a twin-turbo 4.4-liter V8 that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. It puts out 523 horsepower and then 553 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we move forward with this review, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, sorry, it was frosted over, but the green color on this looks absolutely fantastic. I think this might be my favorite color on a Range Rover. You guys can see with the new full size, everything's kind of flush with the different pieces. That's what they're going for because they're going for a more minimalist look. And you can see that kind of continues here at the bottom with the fog lights, parking sensors to be the only things that kind of pop out a little bit. But putting it all together, let me guys think about the green, but you guys can kind of see the interior there. It's a nice contrast, I think. Now around the side here, our tire wheel setup is 285, 45, 22 in the front and over in the rear. You can see with the wheels on this one, silver in coloration, which I think is a pretty nice contrast to the green. I think though, probably black wheels might look the best with this. I don't know. Anyways, blacked out brake caliper there. And then not a ton happening here on the side. And even the side accent piece, again, is flush with the rest of the bodywork. And then we do have the pop-out door handles. And then here's your full side profile with this full size. Now taking a look at the key fob, we have our lock and unlock function. We've got the light function, and then that is to open up the hatch. Now popping into the cargo space, you guys can see we've got the mats here in the back. This one happens to be a pre-owned full size. And then this one also has the third row. So you can see they actually give you really nice soft touch trim for the third row. They even give you heated seats and a USB, and you get your own vents in the third row. But just like most 3-row SUVs of this size, I would reserve the third row for kids for the most part. It's not the headroom, it's most of the legroom. It's a little bit more on the cramped side of things. But on top of that, you can fold down the seats if you want. You can raise and lower the rear suspension from here as well. So lots of practical controls, and I love the tailgate setup here. I wish that more modern SUVs would have this because it's just a nice practical thing to have. Anyways, when you're all done, just press that and then it'll close together. Really cool minimalist taillight design here. That's actually not taillight, it's just blacked out, but it kind of matches everything. And then you guys can see here with the parking sensors at the bottom. And putting it all together, let me guys think about the design on this particular full size. Really nice trim here at the top, and look at the wood trim down below. I love the contrast, and then again more of that soft touch. It even continues to the bottom portion. Got our memory seat function here for the rear passengers. Got your window control there, door lock and unlock, and then you probably notice sunshade as well. And then you got this for the seats on the side. They make everything easy, and this is soft touch. And then look at the seats themselves, perforated all down the center portion. And then when it comes to second row, tons of legroom here. We got a little storage pocket, and then we do have these controls here for our seats and everything, which is cool. Our charging port down below. Got grab handles here in the back, which have a nice premium look to it. And then the headliner actually matches the seat color, which is cool. Now taking a look at the front door panel again, soft touch here at the top, and look at the trim down below, and then more soft touch extends all the way down. All of our window controls here. Got your mirror adjustments there, and then your memory seat function also built into the seat adjustment. And then we do have blind spot monitoring with the mirrors. And then look at the front seat here, perforated all down the center portion. And yeah, even here, they've got like the nice trim. Man, they have gone all out on these new Range Rovers. Pedals down below, and then you can see soft touch here on the dash, and then at the very top as well. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you can see soft touch all around. We also have paddle shifters there on the back for the 8-speed. We've got a bunch of practical controls on the front, like your cruise control, your voice command controls, all of that. And I like the stitching around the airbag cover, and then pretty cool looking stocks there too. Full digital gauge cluster here. Pretty straightforward with the use on it. So yeah, I think they make things easy overall, and I think it has a nice appearance there on the dash. And then we do have a 360 camera system with this as well. You guys can see trajectory lines turn with the steering wheel. You have an on-road and an off-road mode with that. And then as for the infotainment system, response time with the screen is great. It's big, which is nice. And notice this actually has a center and rear locking differential. It's a real Range Rover, folks. And then we do have some controls down below for the climate system, and then some kind of shortcut buttons right here as well. And then also if you pull this out, you got like the fan speed. Then if you push it in, you guys can see with the seats as well. And then you got this nice wood trim piece. And then more storage down below there with the USB. Shifter here for the 8-speed automatic. You got a little volume control there, and then this is the drive mode select, so you push that in and then you can change through the different drive modes. There's a lot for off-road use, and then also some on-road use as well, including like a sport mode, which is called dynamic. And then you got your hill descent control, and then your low range, and then some storage here, again covered up by wood trim if you want. And then normal center console, pretty big though. And then yeah, this still has the little armrests here, which is always interesting. And then Range Rover does a double glove box setup, which I think is cool. I think more SUVs should adopt that. And then we do have a camera rear view mirror, and then a panoramic sunroof. And like I said, the headliner matches the seat color. I'll talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility of the hood and hope you can see the heads-up display. Both the mirrors, do a blind spot monitoring. Throughout the rest of the rear, so you can stitching on the back of the headrest. Luxury when you have stitching on the back of your headrest. Let us set off in the V8 full-size Range Rover. And again, let me know what you guys think about this combination, but I think this is the way to go with a full size. The green paint color, again, it's a darker green, so it's more subtle, so it's not super flashy, but this interior is just gorgeous. It really is. It feels very upscale, feels very classy. And you know, some of the, I mean, frankly, some of the interior colors and everything doing the full size, I don't know, they just don't feel quite that in this. But this though, it definitely accomplishes that. First off, very smooth. Now with the full size, you've got the air suspension. So despite the fact that it has huge wheels, that helps out quite a bit. I'd be interested to see someone put smaller tires, or sorry, not tires, smaller wheels on one of these to see what it would actually, like, because it already rides really well with these larger wheels. So it'd be interesting to see what it rides like with the smaller wheel, a little bit more sidewall with the tires. Handling, again, for a big SUV, handling's good because, you know, independent front suspension, independent rear suspension, and it's also unibody. So from a luxury perspective, it's so comfortable. Like Range Rover really does, I mean, when it comes to SUVs, they do it best. I'm gonna pop it into the dynamic mode here. Continuing along here, we are in dynamic. We'll get an acceleration in just a little bit. But even in the dynamic mode, it's still very comfortable with the suspension. Yeah, I love how smooth this is. Turn-in's good too. Just drives well. It drives well. I mean, like, I don't plan on buying a full size anytime soon because of how expensive they are. But man, in terms of like a daily driver, this would be a great daily driver. Just everything feels like effortless, and you have this king of the road feel as well in the full size. It's not quite on the level of the G-Wagon in terms of like the tank-like feel, but it does have a bigger feel to it. Man, the V8's nice. It just always has torque. It's a BMW engine, so makes sense. It makes sense. And turn signal too. I like the actuation on it. But let's punch it here a bit. Woo! Yeah, it's got some power. I've driven the inline 6 version. I'm gonna pop it back into comfort, and it's fine. I guess auto. Anyways, the inline 6 version is fine. That's interesting that it locks the. So it'll randomly lock the rear. Interesting when you just get on, when you just press the throttle a little bit. Yeah, right there, you can see that. Interesting. That is absolutely fascinating. It's locking that all the time. It's got to be a reason. It's not like, I was gonna say, it's not like we're losing traction or anything here. But yeah, I just yeah, I think this drives really well. I think the V8 I think the V8 is the route to go. The inline six just, it's got good power, but this is such a big vehicle. I think that the inline six is better in the Sport and in the Defender, whereas this, I think the V8, the inline six is fine, like I said, but I think the V8 would be the way to go. Like, come on, that's so fun. And I think the resale value with the V8s being quite a bit higher than the inline six, you know, compared to original MSRP, also kind of shows that the V8 has a lot of desirability about it. But let me know your thoughts on the full-size Range Rover with the V8.